Hey, what is up ladies and gentlemen, I am Blossom here once again from the likes of the Maxi Toys videos, and same applies by the forms of the Powerpuff Girls universe. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my Let's Play of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the New Super Mario Bros. U mode. So, last time we actually did manage to save Princess Peach by the evil clutches of Bowser and Bowser Jr. in the forms of on Peach's castle. And we managed to able to gather every single star coins, and we managed to accomplish some of those tasks, mainly by the forms of like, the last secret exit, and basically pretty much everything else. So, yeah, today for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that we are about to be go ahead and explore the final world in the forms of a New Super Mario Bros. U, and that could be same applies for New Super Luigi U as well. So naturally speaking, we are about to be focusing on is World 9 Superstar Road. And again, in order to actually unlock this world, is by simply complete the game as normal. And not only that you need to be able to collect every single star coins in each world. Like stuff like, if you collect every single star coins in World 1, for instance, you would able to unlock this first level in Superstar Road. And also, you're now able to actually finally save the game as at any point now. See, for Nintendo, rather than no need to worry about by the forms of the quick save option. See, for Nintendo, well, it wasn't until when we get to the New Super Luigi U mode, which it might be still a thing. But either way though, let's get to it by the forms of Spine-Tingling Spine Coaster, which means that we're going to be going back into the forms of Acorn Plains environment, except, well, we do have ourselves a Spine Bone Coaster right here, ever since the forms of in World 6. So even then though, that has been about 3 worlds, or in this case, 2 worlds, that we have not seen this particular Spine Coaster for quite some time at this rate. See, Fernando, you know how it sounds with the forms of World 9 by the forms of Superstar Road, easily one of the hardest worlds in the game for some people, but honestly, whenever I play New Super Mario Bros. U as many times on myself, in the forms of like on my own time, which could be applied by the forms of the Wii U version of the game, I actually think that this world is actually pretty easy, to be honest. Some exceptions by the forms of how the fact that when we get to the 3rd level, and especially with the 2nd level, and even especially noticeable by the forms of like, let's just say the 8th level for instance, and some of these levels can give me some trouble. But on the other hand though, when it comes to the 1st level in World 9, after I played this like several times after about 6 years or so, actually think it starts to get pretty damn easy, especially because of how the fact that because I was usually play this loads of times by the forms of my Nintendo Wii U system, but again because of how the fact that it consists of a few things actually, by the forms of like if you use the Fire Flower for instance on this particular level, that way you can able to deal out those fuzzies no problem. But on the other hand though, when we get to the forms of like the next couple of levels, mainly by the forms of Superstar Road 2, that when you're trying to able to use the Acorn Mushroom power-up, that way you can able to actually just simply you can go like, whoa, that was really close. And you have to jump at the right time before you're able to actually just not fall off. So there we go, that concludes the Spine-Tingling Spine Coaster. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory. So, yeah, that's it for that. And then, as you expected, there are 4 of those Toad houses, unlike the ones in just only 1 in the forms of in New Super Mario Bros. Wii World 9, and especially noticeable with New Super Mario Bros. 2 by the forms of in World Stars. See, for Nintendo, that can be so much more of a difference anyway. But, anyways, let's move on to Superstar Road 2. Run for It, which is actually a spiritual successor, or in this case, a sequel to the forms of one of those level segments in Nerve-Wreck Pack in New Super Mario Bros. 2. Except, I found this one to be a little bit easier in comparison to the forms of one of those segments in the forms of the Nerve-Wreck pack from Coin Rush mode that you have to go through every single piece, which is because of thanks to the forms of the actual power-ups you can able to use, and as a result, then it makes it a little bit easier too because of how the fact that well you can now able to actually implement your spin jump, so that way you can able in this case your mid-air spin, so naturally you can get your momentum going. So even then though, that way you could able to help you out throughout the majority of this level. So even then though, oh why do I do that? Oh that was my fault. That is seriously my fault. I do apologize by the forms of how the fact that I just did not even do that on purpose, but oh well, no big deal. But on the other hand, though, we still got some several of the forms of that specific acorn mushrooms, or to be more accurately, the pea acorns. So that way I can able to actually use that as much as I want. See, Fernando, yeah. A few things I want to explain about this, actually, is the fact that today was actually forms of the 19th of January, in this case, in forms of in 2019. So we've got 10 more days to go until Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to be released on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. See, Fernando, really excited, and I hope you guys were able to actually enjoy that game as well, which I'm sure many Kingdom Hearts fans already expected to see how this will go. And, well, I do definitely notice about the fact that they keep on sending those leaks all the goddamn time, which, you know, same applies for how it does it back in during the likes of in the Super Smash Bros. Games and all that stuff. Well, most notably by the forms of Ultimate and stuff like that recently, and let's just hope that how the fact that the leaks doesn't even try to ruin the actual final boss, because we haven't got to that specific point yet, so... Oh, crap, okay. Whoa! Oh, come on, thank you. So yeah, with the pea acorn, that it just makes this level a little bit easier, but it might be still a little bit of a breaking when it comes to challenge whatsoever. But anyways, let's go ahead and actually, rather than just doing this, because I think it might actually give me a little bit of an out of bounds glitch, I get a feeling, but it doesn't trigger that. So even then though, I'll wait for when it gets to like 99, or in this case 99 seconds, and so whenever I get myself not only the actual fireworks, but it's also a new item that we can add to our inventory. See, Fernando, that way we can able to do that. So let's see what item we got from Toad here, after getting a 2-digit number. So we've got just a Starman, so... Okay, fair enough. But I don't know if I can able to use that as often, because... I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I'm actually used to with this version for just a little bit, because I say little bit because I'm still used to with the forms of the Wii U version of the game, just because of that specific mid-air spin in the mid-air, which I'm still not a big huge fan of with the forms of some changes they actually involves with this version. But either way though, let's get into the forms of the third level in Superstar Road. Swim for your life! Meaning that we're gonna be coming across into a cheap jump or something like that, so yeah. Okay, if you probably did not know already, this is actually my jump cut for this point on here, because either way, there all consist of two things, is the fact that for number one, I need to get a lot of practice on this stage, and second of all is that, for some reason, my capture card seems to get a little bit more glitchy all of a sudden, which even though, this is mainly because of how the fact that, my capture card at the moment seems to have a really hard time picking up some signal when it comes to like trying to capture footage and all that stuff, even though it wasn't dead yet, unlike the ones in the old one. But either way though, it's just a little bit of a tiny time consuming thing. And did that cheap jump just eat my fire flower? I could assuming so. Terrific. And obviously, just like the ones that how it does it in World 9 in the forms of in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, there are no checkpoints whatsoever, because if you made one simple mistake, well, you have to go through the whole entire purpose of the level again. See, Fernando, that can get progressively trickier, and plus is a little bit more challenging, but the forms of how the fact that, well, there's going to be a lot of death situations. Like, for instance, if you accidentally eat by the forms of the cheap jump, well, obviously you automatically die. And that's as far as we can consider. Another thing we need to watch out for is those stupid purple cheap sheeps, which they're really trying to home in on you, or in this case just trying to chase me straight away. See, and then well, unless if you have yourselves your fire flower, which I believe the fire flower is going to be the best power up in this level. Well, as much as you don't want to get involved getting eaten by the forms of the cheap jump, in this case the bestiality, or in this case the monstrosity cheap jump. So even then that just makes me wonder about the fact that he was actually a boss fight in Mario Party 10. So, but either way though, that's a completely different story to this. So anyways though, another thing is one pointing out right away, and I'm gonna have to take the invincibility frames if that's okay for me, and because of that though, I need to make myself a little bit more safe around here. So either way, let's go ahead and get ourselves a little bit of a jump leaps of faith here from that flagpole, and we are done with Swing for Your Life. So naturally, we're almost at the halfway point already in the forms of, well, Superstar Road. So because, you know, most of the levels themselves usually goes by pretty quick, especially because they only have, like, 8 levels at the moment, plus 1 if you really want to go after every single star coins in specifically in Superstar Road. So, as you can see, we got ourselves the propeller mushroom returning, but, it basically functions the same way for how it does it for previously. You can able to fly in the air and all that stuff. And to be honest with you guys, I think I should probably go ahead and take the Super Crown. I don't know why, but when we get to New Super Luigi U, on the other hand though, we would able to actually come across into a propeller mushroom at some point. So even then though, can't wait to see how the fact that if Toadette actually wears the propeller suit. So even then though, yeah, we'll find out whenever we get to New Super Luigi U mode. Until tomorrow, and especially the next couple of days before Kingdom Hearts 3 was about to be released, and eventually around roughly the same time as Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey on the Nintendo 3DS was released in the country, in the UK. But even then though, let's just go ahead and save our game quickly, and let's just move on to the forms of Superstar Road 4. Okay, another quick edit right there, because again, I need to get a lot of practice on this level though, because I keep on dying several times. And second of all is that, yet again, my capture card is a little bit more fuzzier today. I still have no idea why it keeps doing that for all of a sudden for this episode. But hopefully when we get to the New Super Luigi U mode, until during the likes of tomorrow and stuff, or in this case, New Super Luigi U Deluxe of all things, I'm hoping that the capture card device won't able to become as glitchy as it used to be. So even then though, it's want to classify as such. So yeah, another thing is worth mentioning though is the fact that I've managed to able to pick up myself by the forms of a 12-month membership by the forms of the Nintendo Switch Online service. But either way though, that's only because of how the fact that not only do I able to actually just decide to go ahead and use that specifically on my own time for playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, able to get those challenges, and especially notable for certain unlockables and stuff like this nature, but it's also because of how the fact that eventually whenever we get to the Super Mario Party Let's Play, and during the likes of in March, around the same day, or in this case in the forms of the actual final date of the Super Mario Party Let's Play, is going to be hosted on the 2nd of March, around the same time as the forms of Mario Party 9's 7 years old. See, even then though, that's only because of how the fact that, well, normally in every single March these days, well, the only exception by the forms of however though, is the forms of Mario Party 10, and especially noticeable with, I would classify for saying by the forms of Mario Party 2, and especially with, well, for the actual Let's Plays department, because either way, I just have no idea why. So anyways though, here we go. As you can see right there, we actually come across into the forms of those hammer swings. And then, that's the actual main gimmick of this level, is that it goes back and forth between left or right. But again, we need to be very careful of a giant bottomless pit of anything else, because if you somehow mess up your jumps and stuff like that, you will gonna fall and you will gonna die, basically. So even then, you just don't want to let that happen to you. So even then though, there we go. We're actually done with that specific level. So, yeah, because of that though, and eventually when it gets to the point until December this year, well, it might be a little bit too early to predict at the moment, because I thought I might as well able to deal with Mario Kart 8 / Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the actual Let's Play of that game until when it gets to this December this year, which even then, because of that though, I need to able to focusing on, or we should able to still focusing on current Let's Plays at the moment, like stuff like still at the moment by the forms of Pac-Man World 1, and especially noticeable with, you know, other titles, stuff like, I hope that Sonic will able to make a comeback on, NES Remix 2, but, at the moment though, you know in the 7th part that we did manage to able to accidentally uploaded that, and he forms it at some point in September, we decided to able to remove that video just because, well, not much views around here, and especially noticeable how the fact that, well, you know, the Wii U save data corruption. So even then though, that hopefully Sonic will definitely get back into that certain point of NES Remix 2. But even then though, we haven't played the Wii U for quite some time at this rate. But even then though, we'll, sure enough, we'll able to get to the Wii U system for quite some time. Especially because that at the moment that Yoshi's Crafted World is going to be released at some point, you know, in you know, the 29th of March. So we figure we might actually do a Let's Play of Yoshi's Woolly World before, Yoshi's Crafted World is about to be released. So even then, though, it might be a bit of a perfect opportunity when that's gonna happen. So even then, though, that could be a bit of a surprise there. So I don't think there's anything worth noting for of what's down there, but I think that it might be contained as third and final star coin. But the best method to do this, though, is that you have to ground pound that block rather than just trying to jump from the actual, like, towards the edge or something, because if you do, then you would able to fall off to the actual toxic or poisonous water, which, again, poison water is extremely dangerous, but either way, though, that's as far as we can say. So yeah, aside from the forms of this game usually offers, when it comes to the forms of like some extra stuff I just want to show off, specifically on the new Super Mario Bros. U game portion, or in this case the new Super Mario Bros. U mode of new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. There's not much to show off, because obviously that the only major difference is this time around though compared to the Wii U version, as far as I've already established that before, there is no boost mode, which even then, though, the one time that you have to use the Wii U gamepads to able to create those platform blocks to able to help these players out. But even then, though, that's no longer a thing on the Nintendo Switch version, just because you'll be spending most of your time on the forms of, well, if you ever play this on TV mode or tabletop mode, well, you can't do anything with the forms of those boost blocks, because it doesn't say boost mode. And same applies by the forms of the handheld mode as well, so even then that's worth mentioning. So, and also same applies for the Miiverse system, which, by the way, these balloons with the actual Mii faces on the actual icons in the forms of originated from the Wii U version, that's no longer there in the forms of the actual world maps, including by the forms of like when you've able to complete the actual main story. But either way, though, that's as far as we can able to consider this fact. So anyways, here we go, folks, on to the 6th level of Superstar Road, and that will have to be by the forms of, well, the Firebar Cliffs, which, again, if you're playing as Nabbit, as you can see, I think this is actually going to be the final time we're going to be selecting Nabbit in the new Super Mario Bros. U mode, because when we get to new Super Luigi U mode of, you know, Mario Bros. U Deluxe, we would able to actually continue playing as him. Well, I'm not sure if that's been possible throughout, because I found that catching Nabbit system on the forms of new Super Luigi U is actually a lot more tougher than the new Super Mario Bros. U counterpart to me, though, just because most of the levels in that game, or in this case in new Super Luigi U rather, is extremely short by comparison, and especially noticeable how the fact that, you know how most of the levels themselves, that it can go really fast and quick, even by the forms of the actual main worlds themselves. So that's the only reason solutions from here. So even then, let's go ahead and jump from, you know, platform to platform or anything like that. And especially noticeable that obviously we can still manage to go through those little fire bars and stuff like that. Not too many deaths on it so far in this video. Well, the only one time we did accidentally died on is the forms of, obviously by the forms of run for it level, because either way though, that level can get pretty tricky sometimes, especially because on that last part, because of that little moving blocks set, they trying to able to fool you around and stuff, which either way though, if you know the pattern, then you would be fine for the most part. But either way, well, the obvious best power-up by the forms of run for it level is definitely the PA corn or the flying squirrel power-up, whatever you want to prefer calling it that. But either way though, let's just go ahead and finish off the main level, and because we're usually selecting Nabbit on this level, we can simply just bypass every single flames of fire. But either way though, again, it's a bit cheating, but oh well, what can you do? So let's talk about by the forms of another thing is one of pointing out is the forms of the star system, which either way, if you remember, if you ever played the Wii U version of New Super Mario Bros. U before, you know exactly how it sounds when it comes to the actual 5-star system conditions. Well, then naturally we're gonna have to do a lot of things we can do when it comes to like getting a lot of stars in this particular game. Naturally, once again, there are, you know, 5 stars in total, which either way, obviously I'll run down the list as soon as we're able to actually just to able to, well, I'll show that, I'll try to mention about that when we get to the actual secret island, which either way, the secret island, as far as the actual extra island is concerned, it might be a little bit too similar to the forms of the Wii U version, but there are some slight alterations, because either way, we'll get to that as soon as we're able to completely finish up with the forms of Superstar Road first. So even then though, here we go with the forms of Superstar Road dash 7, and that will have to be Lakitu, 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 because get it? Because this level is going to be filled with Lakitus everywhere. So even then though, that in order to actually get some of the star coins, most notably the first one right there, and especially, well, the first two wasn't so hard, but the third and final, star coin, we need to acquire the Lakitu cloud, because if we do, then chances are you might as well able to actually just nab it from there. So, but obviously, it might be possible with Peachette, but I don't think she can't able to get her, the actual, like, gratitude by default of, like, the actual Peachette double jump or anything like that. So even then though, or maybe the PA coin would help as well, but either way though, that could be a lot of possibilities for helping out when it comes to like abilities and all that stuff, and you name the rest of them all. So even then though, that's it for Lakitu, Lakitu, Lakitu. So now onto the forms of the diabolical Star Road, or in this case Superstar Road 8, Pendulum Castle, isn't it? Yeah, Pendulum Castle, in this case, the diabolical level I've ever encountered on my life. Well, usually for the first time, actually, on the Wii U version of the game. So either way, though, I might as well be okay with this, but again, who knows what's able to be happening, and let's say, as a result, we'll go ahead and use the PA coin for the final time of the new Super Mario Bros. U mode, and let's go and save our game quickly, just in case if I manage to able to get some mistakes, but let's get to this. Alright, so another jump code for this point right there, because if you couldn't tell by the forms of the long pause, by the forms of that specific loading screen, is because, well, again, just like in the forms of the majority of the levels themselves, mainly by the forms of the Hammer Swing caverns, especially noticeable by the forms of Swim for Your Life, it took me a lot of practice on this level. I would say is that the 3 hardest levels I can think of with the forms of Superstar Road, with new Super Mario Bros. U in mind, well, 4 actually, because either way though, assuming if you can able to actually just go ahead and just use the correct power-up you're going to be using, but I will able to actually point things out for the actual top 4 hardest levels in Superstar Road and New Super Mario Bros. U actually. So the 4th spot one might actually go through fireball cliffs, because I'm pretty sure I can able to dodge those fireballs just fine well enough, but well, it really doesn't even compare to the forms of the new Super Luigi U version counterparts, because sure enough we'll get to that eventually. And number 3 on the list by the forms of the hardest levels is the Hammer Swing Caverns, is because, well, there are so many ways to die on that specific level just because of ice physics, and especially noticeable by the forms of you have to rely on the hammer swings most of the time in order to actually proceed through the level. And the second goes to by the forms of Swim for Your Life, because of that, that instant death enemy by the forms of if you get eaten by the cheap jump, and there's no way you can able to actually just avoid that unless if you have enough room for it. And this is easily, without a doubt, one of the hardest levels in New Super Mario Bros. U in my opinion, because, well, obviously this usually normally takes place in the forms of, let's say in the forms of somewhat similar to World 8. But on the other hand though, it makes it a little bit tricky and difficult by the fact the matter is though is that you have to rely on those little donut lift platforms, as you can see, or in this case these donut platforms, and then if you stand on for them for a little bit of a long time, then you weren't able to actually just to fall off and die, and if you do not even to jump and escape well enough, then you might as well able to restart the whole entire level. And not to mention, because of how the fact that I've already mentioned about the fact that the only gripe I have with this version of the game is the fact that the actual, like, the mid-air spin maps the same button as the jump button, which still it doesn't make any much more sense to me. Well, I appreciate it by the forms of the triggers would be nice, but either way though, this part right there can get pretty tricky, because I was used to with speed running for this level whenever I played the Wii U version back in the day, but turns out I accidentally fall off due to able to bypassing those donut platforms, which even then, don't do it, because either way though, just take your time and take yourself steady. So there we go. That is definitely a little bit harder though, but either way though, that's as far as we can consider it. So, but of course, when you're able to get yourselves all the star coins in Superstar Road, you would able to unlock the final stage of New Super Mario Bros. U. well, in this case, the new Super Mario Bros. U game. So I'll meet you guys back until I complete Superstar Road 6 on my own time. So I'll see you guys in just a moment. Alright, and I just realized we got a black screen here, and as you can see, I've managed to change the purple space into blue space now. See, Fernando, if you're probably wondering if now going back to the forms of Small Mario, is because I occasionally get hit by the forms of the fire bars, basically. But honestly, the fire bars cliffs wasn't as hard as it used to be. Well, assuming if you're able to go for these star coins, obviously, so... Alright, this might actually be the final jump cut for this point, because again, much like before, it takes me a lot of practice on this level, because here we go folks, onto the forms of the true final level in New Super Mario Bros. U, on the forms of the New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. It doesn't matter what version you'll be playing, this is the forms of Follow That Shell, which means that we're going to be spending most of our time to be able to keep up with the forms of that Koopa Shell, and the first 2 star coins isn't that much of a challenge, but except the third and final one, because I have no idea why. I'm always having a hard time with the third and final star coin, but I've heard from the forms of Chip and Sylvester did manage to able to get the third and the final star coin on the original version of the game, no problem, but I just have no idea why. You'll see why ensues on this, for this specific run specific. But either way though, let's just go ahead and traverse for this level, and as you can see, I'm playing as Peachette, or in this case Toadette, if you want to be more precise, and a free moon up. But again, it only happens for Toadette though, so even then though, yeah, I guess there's not much else I can really say about this point, other than the actual 5-star system, which even then though, again, I will mention about that until after we finish up with this particular world, even then though we still got the final level to deal with, is this part right there. Well, the second star coin's not too bad, actually, but the forms of the third and final one, it will take me a serious amount of attempts, especially because if you don't let the shell manage to get the bypass for those coins in time, it will knock it back, and then that's it. It's just over, and I have no idea how I'm supposed to get that third and final star coin, but what I've noticed is that it might be a possible way that you can able to actually get this with Peachette, especially with the forms of that hovering ability. Let me try that. I'm guessing we have to just do this. There we go. So yeah, it makes it a little bit more easier, especially if you have newcomers out there who have experienced with this level, then you would able to actually do this thing for you. So even then though, we are done with every single levels in New Super Mario Bros. U, or new forms of New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. So naturally speaking, we're actually at a halfway point of the New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe so far. Because obviously we now need to deal with New Super Luigi U mode now. So even then though, let us see our reward. After doing some things, we actually got the Super Mushroom itself. So yeah, that's to be expected for Superstar Road, and just like in the forms of any other new Super Mario Bros. Games these days, that if you manage to conquer every single part, like all the other tasks and all that stuff, your Toadette mushrooms is now going to be fully in blue spaces, meaning you can actually now explore for those particular shops at any time or anywhere with anything. So even then though, definitely a little bit more versatile as it used to be. So even then though, that's it for that. And let's move on to the forms of, let's just say the extra stuff. But again, not much extra stuff is being shown off, other than, since this is on the Nintendo Switch version of New Super Mario Bros. U, basically, that we might actually come across into some alterations, mainly on the Secret Island. Because, as soon as we approached inside the Secret Island, you probably realized about something on the far right. Yes, we have a Nintendo Switch console with the neon blue and neon red Joy-Cons respectively, but we'll get to that in a second, because if you enter here on the record status, it shows the exact same information as last time, but except you do realize how the fact that the boost block status is no longer there, because instead it's been replaced as times companion lifted and synchronized ground pounds, which I'm presuming this only requires in multiplayer. See, for then though, that's, you know, you get the idea with the solution. So, stuff status like how much coins you've collected, how much star coins you've collected, Goombas stomped, items collected, and you know the rest, and it's basically the exact same status as from before. I'm not sure why with the forms of that specific stamp on top of it, which I'm presuming is because I just don't know what that stamps will really do for me, but either way though, it's just there for the sake of like the actual, you know, the notes to point things out. See, even then though, and also, if we manage to approach onto the Nintendo Switch console right there, then if you activate it, it shows the new Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe Steph credit sequence. Okay, I'm guessing because they have managed to able to put these two credit sequence separately, which either way though, it's okay, but I mean, it's not the, well, I just don't know what to think about it. But either way though, I'm assuming the reason why that's usually there in the first place is because they actually feature some of these extra people who are actually working on the you know, the Nintendo Switch version of New Super Mario Bros. U / New Super Luigi U, if you really want to be more precise. So that one of those creators who actually makes the version of the game. But I'm pretty sure the original staff credits has been still looks perfectly intact by the forms of the original version. So yeah, as far as the actual, like, everything else about this version though, again, whenever we get to New Super Luigi U Deluxe playthrough, I would able to give my final thoughts of the actual New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe as far as what versions do I even honestly prefer. But even now though, it might be still redundancy to able to actually just able to bring back this game. But either way though, that's as far as Wii U ports are most likely concerned these nowadays. So even then, that's as far as I can say. So yeah, as far as the actual star system of New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U, as far as we already know about this at this point, because remember, if you ever played the Wii U version of these two before, then the conditions by the forms of these 5 stars will be very similar to the forms of the Wii U version throughout the majority of New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U. The fact of the matter is, though, is the fact that, you know, there are 5 stars to collect. So star number 1 is very simple. You have to simply basically, you know, play through the main game first and then beat Bowser afterwards. And then star number 2 is the fact that you have to collect every single star coins except Superstar Road. And same applies for completing every single stages, including finding every single secret exit except Superstar Road. And, well, for star number 3. And star number 4 is the fact that it's pretty obvious you can able to unlock the final course. And star number 5, you have to do a serious multitude of tasks that you have to able to catch Nabbit's worlds 1 through 7, and especially noticeable for collecting every single star coins, and especially noticeable for finding every single exit. And as you can see, we actually got ourselves 94 exits. See, Fernando. Oh, pretty self-explanatory for the most part. And as you can see, the 5 stars has been sparkled up a little bit, and even then, thankfully though, if you manage to able to play as Nabbit for the majority of New Super Mario Bros. U, it doesn't affect by the forms of that specifically without any sparkles on it. However though, just like in the forms of the original Wii U version of New Super Mario Bros. U, and same applies for New Super Luigi U. Oh, actually, I don't think it's actually happening on New Super Luigi U fundamentally, but specifically on New Super Mario Bros. U portion of the game, that once again, if you manage to die like 5 times in one level, because as you can see, I'm actually demonstrating it on Layer Cake Desert this time around, rather than Acorn Plains, because I feel like, well, with the new world in mind, we'll make it a little bit of a change. So, but again, if you die like 5 times in one level, because as you can see, the red space has been, you know, stay perfectly still, because much like in the forms of New Super Mario Bros. Wii, and New Super Mario Bros. U on the Nintendo Wii U, and basically you get yourselves a super guide block is about to be appeared. And as you can tell, the actual sound effects is going to a little bit more different this time around. Rather than just going like a dun dun, instead it was actually like do 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 type of sound effects this time around, which is a little interesting change. But usually if you play as Mario, and especially with Toad and Toadette, and I believe Nabbit as well, that the green super guide block usually exists, because, you know, just like in the forms of the original Wii U version of New Super Mario Bros. U, you'll once again take control of Luigi for most of the time on the super guide mode, or you can able to actually watch him during the actual level, or you can able to actually just quit the forms of the actual, like, to see how he's getting on with the actual level, and then just take control of Luigi at any point. But just like before with the most likely for every single super guides these days, if you manage to able to complete the level with the super guide on, then obviously if you want to able to proceed, then you have to click on proceed mode. But then, obviously, that you don't get star coins, or in this case, coins, and the time and score counts will be reset. So, oh, please don't tell me I just died. Yeah, but I did. But that's okay, because there's a little bit of a the unusual part that I think most of you guys didn't even know, that since because this version allows you to switch between multitude of characters, if you switch to Luigi on the other hand though, is the actual Super Guides block color is being replaced. Stuff like the red Super Guides block, get it? Because you know the green one stands for Luigi, and the red one is actually consists of where it only works on Luigi, which this time Mario's is gonna do the Super Guide mode. So yes, it's pretty unusual fundamentally though, but either way though, I think I've managed to discover that familiar image by the forms of the Mario Wikipedia page, which either way, again, it only works on Luigi if you really want to able to see Mario in action of the Super Guide mode. But either way though, you know, just like how it does it from before, well, you can able to actually watch him play the level, or you can able to actually just to take control of the actual players. Even then though, you know, other titles like the Super Kong Guides by the forms of Donkey Kong Country Returns, and especially noticeable with, well, just essentially for Super Guides for most of the actual titles. I don't think they actually do that often anymore because of, we're going to be moving on to hardcore gamers or something like that. I'm not exactly sure if that's been a possibility, but either way though, oh well. And then that's what Mario says after when he completes the forms of the Super Guide mode. So yeah, that was about it by the forms of the new Super Mario Bros. U mode. It's a pretty enjoyable experience coming back to this game again, but this time on the Nintendo Switch. But either way though, that some people seem to think that this is kind of underwhelming by the forms of the new Super Mario Bros. Game or something like that. But honestly, I don't mind about it too much. So I guess we'll just have to end things off here. So join me next time on Let's Play New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, because we are done with New Super Mario Bros. U. Because next time around though, we are about to be moving on to New Super Luigi U in the Deluxe portion. So see you guys tomorrow for that. Later, fellas.